Yeah, definitely.
Now, people, now!
Strong! He's escaping! Not without us, he isn't.
You've got to be kidding me!
I told you we were fucked! Trustin told you!
Well, there goes the cavalry.
Yeah, we've gone from bad to worse, mate.
He's bringing his army to Britain.
No, something's wrong. We're not going to England. Straub has other plans.
The impossible Easter egg has been beaten. Last night I was streaming with Rad Austin 27, JC Backfire, and Edge, and somehow me of all people, one of the worst zombie players of all time, back-to-back Easter eggs for charity, last pick, managed to stumble his way into the boss fight before anybody else. Unfortunately, we died about halfway through the fight, and what you guys just watched was actually not my copy of the ending. This was Beebat's copy, who was actually first in the world for the Darkest Shore Easter egg. So congratulations to Beebat and his team. They beat what is an incredibly difficult boss fight. That boss fight is a son of a bitch. So I'm going to link to Beebat. You can also check him out on Twitter. I will go ahead and congratulate him on being world's first. He and his team did a hell of a job taking down what everybody thought was an impossible Easter egg. I, though, want to talk about this ending. I gotta say, I'm overall pretty happy with this Easter egg. I was a little disappointed at first because when the original transcript leaked, I'm like, well, this seems short. Doesn't seem like much will be really going on, but when you watch it, I think it plays out better than it is written. So basically the whole point of the Easter egg is to get the pommel, which is another part of the sword of Frederick Barbarossa. You have the hilt, and then you put at the bottom of the hilt the pommel. The pommel is basically the round end that attaches to the bottom of the hilt. Now, I guess we're just missing the blade and maybe some other decorative features of the sword, and then we will have the full sword of Frederick Barbarossa. Now, of course, our goal is to build it before Dr. Straub does. Dr. Straub, at the end of the Easter egg, gets away with his army in the several blimps. Now, one of the reasons I like this Easter egg more than I thought I was going to was because this is actually based on actual history. So, we learned this from a tweet from Cameron Dayton. He says that this is actually based on the bombing of Helgoland. And if you do a little bit of research, you'll learn that there were two waves of attacks on April 18th and April 19th in the year 1945. 1,000 British aircraft of the Royal British Air Force dropped about 7,000 bombs over Helgoland. A majority of the population survived this bombing. About 285 people were killed during it. But after that bombing, after 7,000 bombs dropped on the island, it was basically rendered uninhabitable and everybody who lived there had to evacuate. So that's actually what's going on as our characters are running through trying to catch up the Straub's blimps. You have the actual real-life bombing of Helgoland. So I thought it was really cool how they actually incorporated some real-life history into our Easter egg ending. I thought it was really well done by Cameron Dayton and his team. And I love when we get some of that in our zombie storyline, when we can blend our history with theirs. Another thing I really liked about it was when they jump actually onto his blimp. So you don't really see that when you're reading the transcript. You just hear that, oh, he's going somewhere else. He's not going to England. But now they're actually riding on the blimp with him. So that's most likely how they're going to get to the next location, whatever that location is. Now, they thought it was going to be England, but then Marie says, no, he's not going to Britain. So where could he be going after that? And this is, of course, where I have to slide in my Egypt theory, my world-famous Egypt theory. I am still banking on the fact that we will end up in Egypt at one point during this zombie storyline. Now, I honestly personally think we might save Egypt for last, but if we don't know where he's going, maybe we will go to Egypt where another part of Barbarossa's sword was hidden. If you'd like to learn more about the Egypt theory, I'll put a link down in the description for you guys to check that out. But Honestly, Straub could go anywhere right now, and wherever he will go, most likely will have another part of Barbarossa's sword, and we're going to need to get it before he does. That is basically all you need to draw from this Easter egg ending. It is short, there really isn't all that much going on, but I will say I like it more than I thought I would. It's a little disappointing that this is basically just going to be chasing Straub. We're probably going to go to an area, get a part, and then Straub's going to run away. It's going to be like your princess is in another castle type gimmick, but I thought it was kind of cool how they all ended up chasing Straub, jumping onto the blimp, and then you had the bombing of Helgoland going on at the same time. Overall, a decent Easter egg ending. I'm satisfied. It's going to wrap things up for this video. I'm going to be continuing to dive into the storyline. There's so much to talk about in this map. I'm actually genuinely excited. I have several videos planned over the next few days, so be sure to stay tuned for that. I'm going to go, though. Have a wonderful day, and